So right now, you know what, you guys, this.
We're frozen. That's what our problem was. You were frozen in the frame.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Right now, this. Right
good morning, everyone. Sorry for the delay. We had some audio problems and then we had some video problems, but we're back. I am Keith, Chaplain Keith of Good Heart Church. Any of you who were watching, we hope you watched it afterwards. If you were watching, trying to watch it live and we had these problems. Turn the other microphone off. So, what is life? That's what we're going to talk about today. And we'll get into that in just a moment. So, first, let's turn it off.
It's me.
Anyway, we're apparently still having some echo problems in our audio. I apologize for that. But right now, let's just take some time and talk to our deities and then go into a nice, relaxing time when we can um, get connected to receive the message, whatever your message is for today in what is life. So let's go ahead and say a prayer to our deities, and then we'll take a relaxing few minutes that I'll guide you into some relaxation, and we will get prepared for today's message, whatever that message is for you. We sit here, wherever it is that here is for you. Let us start to relax. And relax so that we may be able to receive whatever it is that we are to receive today for each individual that is watching this. So let's start at the top of our heads as always and relax our scalp and our temples. Relax your forehead and take that crease out from in between your eyes. Relax your eyebrows, your eyelids. Relax your cheekbones and your jaw. Drop that tongue down to the bottom of your mouth where you can feel more relaxed. Then as you relax around your ears and your neck, drop your shoulders away from your ears to relax them as well. Relax your upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, your wrists, hands, and fingers. Relax your chest and your upper back. and then relax your belly and your lower back. As you sink down into whatever it is you are sitting on today, without forcing yourself down, relax your hips and your buttocks. You may even want to wiggle a little bit just to sink into whatever you're sitting on. As you relax your hips, go ahead and relax your upper legs and your knees, your lower legs, your ankles, feet, and toes. Sit here for a few moments and relax in and relax with each breath out and relax into whatever it is that you are to receive today from this message that is being given. Keep your posture as straight as possible so energies can move. As you come out of your relaxation postures, come back to the room that you're in, preparing yourself to receive whatever message you're to get out of what is said today. It may not be the same message for everybody. As you do this, we're going to ask today that you get in touch with your body, with your physical body, and notice where tension might be, whether it's tension in a muscle, tension in an emotion, tension in whatever it is. Just notice it. We're not asking to clear it. We're not asking to correct it. Just notice it so that you may know where it is that different things are affecting your body. And then after our talk today, I request that you sit back down and relax again at some point and see if any of the tensions have been increased or decreased that you have noticed as you come out of this thoughtful, contemplative relaxation that you're in now. Give yourself to the universe, to your deity, for whatever it is that you are to receive today. Okay, folks. First, we want to thank the volunteers as always, and welcome any light spirits into the room that are with us today. We want to thank my brother Paul for the technical support, my wife Mary for the videographer. We do apologize again for having any issues. We are not perfect at this, and we have very rudimentary um, equipment that we try to deal with. At some point, we hope to be able to increase the type of equipment that we use and get a better system going. But just be aware that we're just getting started out. We're only doing this for a couple months, but we want to talk about what is life today. That's what the paper. That's what this thing says. That's what our board says today. What is life? Question mark. Well, what is life? Well, talk to today's science. They're always out looking for carbon-based life. Now, You can look at yourself and say, I have a physical body and I'm alive. I'm alive in the earth. I'm alive. I can feel feelings. I'm alive. I can think. I'm alive. I can do all these things. I have the five senses. I can deal with it with all five senses. I'm alive. Well, probably true. But the question of the day is what really life is, it really is. Because, well, let's just ask a question to ourselves. I'm not going to tell you what it is that you seem to need to want to know. I want you to start thinking about these things. Is your deity alive? Is there life after death? No, wait a minute. I'm in the spirit world after death. Am I alive? We talk about the living God. We talk about life after death. We talk about spirits. We talk about all kinds of different things, but they're not carbon based. What are they? Well, I don't know a whole lot about life, but I do know this much that I've learned. That is that even if you take my physical body and look at every cell, every atom in my physical body, it is 99% space. There is no solidness to it. That 99% space is what? According to science, and I tend to believe this, it's energy. So, what is life? Life is energy, it seems to me. And if life is energy, let me get a pen out here. If life is energy, we're going to say, what is life? And we're going to answer that today, at least in my. If life is energy, then where is life? Energy. Energy, energy. May not look very pretty, but it's energy. If it's energy, then where is energy? Where is energy? Energy is absolutely everywhere. Energy is shown to us oftentimes through vibration, right? So if you pick up a crystal, I do a lot. I've dealt with some crystal work. You pick up a crystal and you feel it tingling your hand. That's the vibration of that crystal. So it's alive. If energy is alive, is life, it's alive. The sun puts out energy to heat the earth, to illuminate the earth. It's energy. So the sun must be alive. The stars, the planets, the moons, everything in the universe seems to have energy to it, including all the dark spaces in between all these things. All the darkness, when you look out at night and you see all the darkness in between the stars and in between in everywhere, it's all energy. It's not dark energy. It's just energy that your deity has made or your deity has put out there for you to see, for you to experience, not just you, for anybody that's available. Okay? When your family dies, you say they go to the spirit world. When family loved ones go to the spirit world, are they dead? Well, their flesh is gone, but spirit is live. So do we have to base it on carbon based? No, crystals aren't carbon based. What is the biggest crystal on Earth? Does anybody know that? The biggest crystal on Earth is Earth herself. She is one big, huge quartz, at least on the crust. And I say the crust, you're talking miles deep, but the biggest crystal is the quartz crystal, and that's Mother Earth. We talk about the middle of the Earth being a fiery ball. That's energy. So doesn't that make you believe or think or ponder or contemplate the fact that Mother Earth might be alive? The trees are alive. We know they grow. The stones that are not crystals are alive as well, just in a different way. They have their energies going a different way. Mother Earth has earthquakes. What creates those earthquakes other than energy? What creates the orbit of a moon or a planet around a sun or a star? But energy. So I guess what I'm trying to put out today is energy's everywhere. And in my opinion, it's hard for me to separate the fact that if I have a deity that I consider an everlasting life, that I am going to join that deity at some point, maybe not after this incarnation, might be 10 more incarnations, might be 100 more, I don't know. But if I'm going to join that deity and have everlasting what? Life, then I must still be alive when I leave this earth. None of that is carbon based. Now, why doesn't science look for that? Well, maybe they do, and they just don't have the instruments to find non-carbon based life. Maybe they're just so wrapped up in a third dimension that they don't want to look anywhere else. But quantum physics starts telling us different things. And I'm not a quantum physicist, and you can look that up for yourself, but quantum physics tells us that there is possible. That's where you find out that there's energy everywhere. That's where you find out that all the atoms with the protons and neutrons and whatnot, it's energy. And 99% of it's empty energy, meaning it's nothing that we can put into a particle form. Doesn't mean that it's not there. We can't put the particle forms between the stars necessarily into anything. All that space in between there is not necessarily particle forms. But we know there's energy there. It's measured. I don't know how they measure it. I'm not a scientist. But energy is everywhere. And that leads me to believe that everything is alive. Everything. Because what happens in the universe? What are we told that goes on in the universe? We are told that it is our deity's creation. Even if you believe in the Big Bang Theory, it was vibration, it was noise, it was sound. The word means sound. Om means sound. It is a sound. It is the word, the light, all vibration. Om is the sound of, in some faces, that is the sound of God. Amen in other faiths. I don't know what they are in all of the different faiths, but they all have a word for their deity, a vibrational word, not a word of description, but rather a vibrational word that puts it out in the same manner that the deity puts it out. So if the Big Bang Theory, I'm not going to say yay or nay. All I'm saying is that may be the process that the deity used, that Source used to create. It's up to you to figure this all out for yourself. I'm just putting this out there. But it was all vibration, and it all turned out to be energy. So everything must be alive. We know, and I don't have the graphic, but you can look it up too. we know that the Earth Mother herself actually has chakras. And the main chakra that we have, and I'm not sure if it's, I'd have to look it up, I don't recall right off the top, is in where everybody believes life started on Earth, or in the Middle East, Turkey area, somewhere like that, which I believe is the heart chakra, which makes sense if I'm right. I don't know. You'd have to look it up because I'm not real familiar with where the chakras are right now. But I would say, why wouldn't it be there? If that's the birthplace of physical life versus spiritual life, then it only makes sense that deity or source would use the heart of love to start all this. Because the heart chakra is the love chakra. And in my way of thinking, source is the vibration of love. And if that's the vibration of love, then that would be the birthplace for everything. Other parts of the chakras go around the world. And let's just look at that for a minute. We have chakras on the earth that are shown to us. We also know that there are grids. What are they? What kind of grids do we have? Well, must be energy grids. Imagine that. Energy grids on the earth. We call them vortexes. They're all over the place. There are churches, there are cathedrals, there are temples of all faiths that have been put on these vortexes, on these grids of energy. At the points where they cross is where the vortexes are, where these energies go different ways and they cross. That's where, when you have more than two or three, the more you have cross at one point, the bigger the energy that comes out of that point. Sometimes they just cross once while they're going to another place. And what are they? They're pretty much, I think they're, what do they call it? Octagonal? Like the geodomes? You know, that's where you get, and what does that create? A geodome. If you build a geodome, you build it in this octagonal or pentagonal, I forget which. And where is the strongest point? Not in the middle, where the two come together. That's what creates the strength in the dome. Well, isn't the Earth round? Isn't the Earth in a dome shape that creates it to be so secure? This is all energy and maybe even a little physics. But it all makes sense when you think about it. It all makes sense. The two biggest things that happen in sacred geometry is a circle and a spiral. Well, if you take a circle and cut it in half, you have an arch. Therefore, the arch becomes very significant in physics for being so strong. Okay? But a circle is very interesting because it lets the energy stay within the area. It doesn't have any points for it to escape from. And when it does escape, it escapes on the grids, and it doesn't escape to the point that it's detrimental. It escapes to giving us more energies ourselves. We've heard about the healing points of, what was it, Sedona, Arizona, where you have a big vortex there and you go down, people go down there to get healed. There are other places all over the world like that. There are minor vortexes all over the world, but the major ones have been found and used long before my time. I guess the point that I'm making is energy, and Earth, because she's energy, might lead us to believe that everything is sentient. If everything is sentient, then that doesn't mean they think like we do. It just means they have a conscience, they have a spirit. Okay. My dog is sentient, but she doesn't talk to me to a way that I can understand her. But yet there are certain things I can't understand. But she has a spirit. I guarantee she has a spirit. but not the kind of spirit that I feel with the types of auras that you get in people. She's just a four-legged people. She's just a four-legged person. And boy, does she put the love out. The earth loves us too. The earth wants us to imagine, the earth wants us to stay with her vibration as she's staying. She's bigger than me. And when I'm not staying in her vibration, then I might have a problem connecting with her. Okay. So let's think about that. Have you ate all red meat and today you're only eating fish and chicken? Did you used to eat so much junk and now you're eating vegetables and fruits? Have you ever even looked and seen why you changed? Because the sentient earth, and this is what I suggest, as the sentient earth raises her vibration, we have to raise our vibration to stay with her. Therefore, we have to change our diets and have higher vibrational foods. If we don't, we might still exist on her, but we're not going to stay in the spirit of her. We're not going to appreciate her. We're not going to know her. We're not going to be as well balanced with her. So for those of you who want to look back and see if you've started getting you don't drink as much pop as you used to. You don't go to McDonald's as often as you used to. And it's not a financial reason, it's a vibrational reason. Speaking of a living God, sometimes that living deity, that living source, uses other things to get you to do what needs to be done. So maybe you got ill from eating hamburgers at McDonald's every day. And then you chose, I'm not eating hamburgers at all. Well, maybe Source said to you, we're going to create it so that you don't feel as well as you should, and you're going to change because of that. You're going to change and raise your vibrational foods. Just a suggestion, just something I'm throwing out there, something for you to think about and look at. Remember, we thought several weeks ago, we talked about thinking for yourself. I'm just throwing ideas out there for you to look at. I'm just saying, right today, energy is the source of all life, which means all life is energy, all energy is life. And how much of that is sentient and how much of that isn't sentient is for you to deliberate on your own, ponder, think about, see what you come up with. There's lots of stuff on TV. There's I don't have any paid promotions, but I do have to tell you, Gaia TV is a great source of a lot of information. And I really encourage people to subscribe to it if they can. It's a great source of information from all the stuff that I talk about. I don't get all my information from there. Actually, a lot of it is my own self-thinking, my own thinking for myself. And a lot of it is inspired of that thinking is done through reading, through that kind of Gaia TV, through other things that I see, other people I talk to, but I have to decipher all this. I've been fortunate enough in the last few days to deal with a person that has a completely different faith than what I'm used to. And I've been very fortunate because it gives me an insight into other people's faiths. And that's what I really like. I like to know as much about it, all the different faiths as I can, because that's just me. I'm just interested in that. And that makes me, in my opinion, makes me a better chaplain. So think about all this today. What is life? What is energy based? What does energy based mean? If it's energy, is it create life? If life is there, is it sentient? Look at that and see. Any questions or comments? We greatly appreciate them on the YouTube channel. We really, I'm really, I don't know, I get a little excited about this subject because I don't know everything about it. So I get excited and I really would like to know what other people think about it, how other people look at it. Maybe they disagree with me 100%. Let me know. Maybe you have other things to add to this. Let me know. Let the other people on YouTube know by typing it in as a comment. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and be part of this community of Good Heart Church. We really, really are excited to have this church go somewhere. We are getting the website up, and we'll soon be able to get that out to you. If it's not out available to the public, I don't think it is yet, but it might be in the next week or two, hopefully by Thanksgiving. And because my webmaster, I think, is going on vacation shortly after Thanksgiving, and I'm hoping we have at least the basics of the website up by then. So, yeah, be a part of this. Let us know what you think. Gosh, I apologize again for the beginning of the show. We haven't had these issues in the last few weeks, and all of a sudden we had some issues. That happens. We're not perfect here. So, are there any comments or questions, Paul?
No, but I was doing some looking up on the chakras online as you were talking. And I just like to bring up that some of those they can hear just fine. The information online when it talks strictly of the chakras of Earth have them in a different place than when they talk about the gates.
Okay.
So when people are looking at that, they need to be aware that the gates are not necessarily the same as chakras, though some websites try to make them the same until they move the chakras in different places to do that.
Okay. Did they show when you were looking there just now? Did they show where the heart chakra was? Is it in the Jordan, Turkey area, or?
It actually it is in the Middle East, includes Mount of Olives, Egypt, the Sphinx, the pyramids.
Okay, so that's the.
If you're looking at just the chakras, if you're looking at the gates, they move it up to England.
Okay, well, because the reason I'm asking is
And
because
they put the throat chakra down there. Interestingly enough, where
okay, well, there's a
spoken.
Right,
The heart.
right.
So either one of them lines up correctly with what comes out of the history of the Middle East.
Right, because there's now talk that, and it's only talk. Nobody has ever determined it. There has been talk recently that the Garden of Eden is actually in Turkey, and maybe by Göbekli Tepe, and Göbekli Tepe is an archaeological site right now that they believe was a temple that they actually believe was man-made, covered up. It was not covered up by a cataclysm, but rather covered up by man because they knew something was going to happen and go wrong on Earth, and they covered it up. And it's not far from there. There's a mountain not far from there that they believe might be the Garden of Eden. And this is all speculation of our tiny little pea brains. We don't have, our spirit already knows all this stuff, but our little pea brains don't. And interestingly enough, we're going to go into that next week, but I want to give you a little teaser for next week. What does our brain do and what is our mind? And that's going to be very interesting next week because I've been hearing some recent stuff on different angles of this, and I really would like to get into that a little bit. And because it's not necessarily what you think it is. And I'll give you a little hint. If anybody here has watched on TV what they call NDEs or near-death experiences, and people or out-of-body experiences, where people are clinically dead and they come back and remember everything, where did they remember it from? They're brain dead. Think about that, and I'll talk about it next week. Have a great week.
I
I got one more comment.
just want to say, I would like to challenge the people that are watching to,
Because I may be a minister of metaphysics, but a chaplain so that we can deal with is any faith or any deity or any source that you choose, that you feel fit dealing with, or none. So good challenge out there for you. Have a great week. Be spiritual in everything you do.